Hello, today we are going to talk about At Home and Abroad, a life abroad from our book Left Off. Write Fatima, Muna, or Layla by the correct numbers. Let's listen and find out the answers.
Write Fatima, Mona, or Layla by the correct numbers.
This is a picture of a meal for Layla, Mona and Fatima. They are all having orange juice and they are eating the same meal. Fatima has more juice than Layla and Mona doesn't have as much juice as Fatima. Fatima has the most juice and Mona doesn't have as much juice as Layla or Fatima. Layla doesn't have as much chicken as Mona, but she has more peas than her. Fatima doesn't have as many chips as Mona or as Layla, but she has more peas than Layla. Mona has the most chicken. However, she doesn't have as many peas as Fatima. Layla has the most chips, and Fatima has the fewest chips.
So, from what we heard, he is comparing the food and the juice between the three girls. So the answers are Fatima's juice is number 1, number 2 Muna's juice, number 3 Layla's juice. Number 4 is Muna's food, 5 Fatima's food, and 6 Layla's food. So if we are going to classify countable and uncountable nouns, if we are talking about countable, that means the things or the nouns that we can count it, like we can say 1, 2, 3. The uncountable that we cannot count. For example, here, not as many cups. You can say 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. You can say fewer cups if they are like few, or fewest if it is like, for example, if you compare it with 1 cup with many cups. With uncountable nouns, we can say as much cheese. Of course, cheese, we cannot count cheese. If they are like list, we can list cheese or least. If we are comparing between one things and many things. So we have more cups, more cheese, or most cups and most cheese. We are going to understand it now. Complete these questions with a word or phrase from the box. We have oil, time, barrels of oil, peas, years, food, tons of silver, and silver. Of course, he omit the tons of silver because he already done it with it. So number 1, how much silver has Argentina mined this year? Number 2, how much oil, because we cannot count oil, does Saudi Arabia produce a day? How many barrels of oil does Saudi Arabia produce a day? So we can count the barrels itself, not the oil. 4, how many years does a Saudi diplomat usually spend overseas? 5, how much time does a Saudi diplomat usually spend overseas? We cannot count time, so we use how much. 6, how many peas have you eaten? And 7, how much food have you eaten? Because we cannot count the food. So the present perfect here, we have subject with has and have plus verb 3, then the object. For example, Muna has spent 7 years abroad. So here Muna is the subject, then we used has because Muna is singular, then spend, the past participle of it is spent, then we complete the object. Students have learned 2 languages. So students here is the subject, it's plural, so we used have, not has. Then learned, it's the past participle of learn, then 2 languages. Compare the pictures using as many as and not as much as. So the pictures that with the food and juice with the 3 girls, we are going to compare it. For example, number 1, we are going to say Layla has not been to as many schools as Fatima. And number 2, Fatima has not been to as many schools as Muna. So this is how we compare it, okay? And we choose many because here we have schools are countable. Write these words as numbers. Number 1, 1200. This is 1200. Number 2, 2564. See? Number 3, 18,027. So 18,027. This is how we write it down, okay? This is important for you. So when the first number you heard it, it's going to start from the left, then you continue the numbers to the right. So for today, we learned about present perfect, comparing sentences. Also, we classified the sentences to countable and uncountable. We asked questions about how many and how much. And we have the possessive is when we are saying Layla's juice and Fatima's juice. And also, we talked about the numbers and how we write them down. Thank you for listening.